Margaret Brennan, our State Department correspondent, is joining us here in New York. Margaret, what are you hearing?
Scott, I've been emailing with some sources, some U.S. officials who say it is actually too early to tell. They are looking at what the Ukrainian Interior Minister and his advisor have said, where they have laid blame at the foot of some separatist groups for shooting down this aircraft. U.S. officials are looking at that. They're looking at those reports, but they say it is too accurate. It is too early to say if that information is accurate at this time. They have been very carefully tracking the type of hardware that the U.S. government believes that Russia has given to some of these separatist groups, these pro-Russian separatist groups, that has included some surface-to-air missiles, some heavier hardware there that the U.S. blames Russia for handing over to these groups. But it is not believed to be Ukrainian military hardware. This is being blamed on some of the pro-Russian groups. The U.S. can't verify that yet.
We also have on the telephone our aviation expert, Sullenberger, former U.S. Airways pilot who famously landed his aircraft successfully on the Hudson River. Sully, it's early minutes in all of this. Clearly there has been a disaster. We are told that there were no distress calls from the aircraft heard immediately before the crash. I wonder, based on the little bit of information we have, what can you tell us? What can you put together?
Scott, several possibilities present themselves. First, maybe that the sudden crisis that occurred was so overwhelming it demanded the pilot's immediate attention just to attempt to control the airplane and solve their immediate problems, and that they did not have time to get to the lower priority things such as notifying someone on the ground. It might be that for some reason they were unable to. It might be that they were unable to communicate, that their communication systems had failed. It may have been that they were incapacitated. Several possibilities present themselves. It's way too early to know which, if those scenarios or another one, might be the case in this situation.
Sully, thank you. Major Garrett at the White House is just informing us that the president has been told about the crash and has been given what little information we know right now. Sully, while I have you on the phone, remind the audience, please, about the Boeing 777. What kind of aircraft are we talking about?
It's a large two-engine, long-range airplane, been in service for 20-plus years, very reliable, a good safety record.
The most advanced aircraft in the sky today, I would think.
Certainly among the most.
And capable of carrying 300 passengers, depending on how it's configured. We are told that this flight, the flight in question, you're looking at a Malaysian 777 there, but not the aircraft involved in this accident. This accident involved Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. We are told that there were 295 people on board. That is 280 passengers, 15 crew members, as Sullenberger was saying, a Boeing 777. Hard to imagine survivors of this accident, given that the aircraft was most likely flying at something on the order of 30 or 35,000 feet as it passed over Ukraine.